Are you ready to make more money in less time doing more of what you love? Well, you're in the right place because that's what I'm all about. And today I'm super excited. I think our topic is going to be really fun and it's also going to really serve you well. We're going to talk about how do we cash infuse our business in December. How do we make some money, make some quick cash as we wrap up the year? And so you may find yourself in a position where this is not relevant. And maybe you want to listen because you're curious and you just want to kind of get your juices flowing, and maybe you'll save it for sometime in the future because the principles will apply throughout the whole year. But I want it to be known that for some people, we are in these cyclical kind of cycles. So maybe you're coming out of a really, really busy season, and this is not time for you to be focusing on cash injecting your business. And if that's the case, I want you to be self-aware. I want you to lean into your own self-leadership and say, hey, this isn't for me right now. For some of you, this is a relevant topic because we need to do a couple of things. One, you do need the cash. You need the cash for whatever it is. And you're finding yourself at the end of the year looking at your numbers and just saying, hey, I'd like a little boost. For some of you, it's not really just about needing the money, and this is probably more of you than not. It's about proving to yourself that you have the ability, you have the magic, you have the power to say, I deserve more, I want more money. And so if that's you, lean in and let's put some action to what's happening in your business. For some of you, you need to lean out of and close the door on perfectionism. You maybe tend to be an overthinker, an over-researcher in your business. And so you're slow to take action, you're slow to take movement. And so we need to just break that cycle in your life, in your business. And so this is gonna be a way for you to just kind of have some fun and push against that tendency, which is super important. If you want to grow your impact, if you want to scale your business, we have to be willing to leave perfection behind. And so wherever this finds you, I'm excited to lean in and chat with you about making some cash as we wrap up the year. So here are 4 different ways that you could think about injecting cash in your business. One is we know that people who have bought from us previously tend to be much easier and much more excited to buy from us again. And so that's just a general sales principle. We should put more effort and more work towards retaining clients, towards referrals of those clients, of like getting them back in our doors and serving them more and more because we've already served the heck out of them. They love us, they love our brand. And so we have to do a lot less work in building that like, no trust factor. And so there might be some potential for you to think about who have been the clients over this past year. How can I lean in and serve them with one of my offerings? And this means that you're going to do a reach out. And so you're going to reach out to past clients of yours, maybe ones that aren't currently probably working with you at this point, and you're going to let them know about an offer that you think serves them well and ask them, would they be interested in collaborating with you and hiring you and whatever the case is. So we know that this is going to be a space in our business where it's going to be easier to get a sale, and you want to think about what is the particular need of that client. How does my offering specifically serve that person, because we know that person given this particular time. And so we definitely want to have that historical research and that personalized approach to our sale. So that's number one. We're going to think about previous clients, and we're going to think about how can we maybe continue to serve and sell them in this last month of the year. So number 2, you are gonna think about how can I create a mini offering, a mini service out of my expertise. So if you think about the value ladder of your business, you know my philosophy is to really bust out that top portion of your value ladder, the one that makes the most impact and the most money. And I'm all about that. And I believe that is foundational, and that is like long-term how we scale our businesses. And once we dial that in, then we fill out the rest of our value ladder. Well, for this particular exercise, for this particular thing, you're gonna take one of the things on your value ladder. Maybe it's the top offering that you've developed. Maybe you have a few different ones. And you're gonna kind of put this through the lens of what's my expertise? where is my buyer currently and how can I help them lean in at this time of year? So for example, maybe you are a copywriter and so you know that it would be really, really helpful. People in December are maybe slowing down, winding down. They're doing some of that refresh stuff. And so maybe you offer 1-hour website audits. And so typically maybe you do the copywriting for people. You're very involved. That's your high dollar work. Well, now you're going to create a $300 1-hour audit and you're offering people amazing value. You're bringing your expertise. You know where they're at, that they need that website refresh, and that's kind of what they're focusing on. So you're going to put that out into the world. Maybe you're a coach of some sort. And so we know that people, maybe our avatar and our buyer is at a place where they're really in this evaluating the previous year, setting goals and intention for the next year, looking at what worked, what didn't work. And so you're going to have a 1-hour strategy call that you push out to people that's all about helping them kind of analyze their past year and set themselves up for success for the next year. And so maybe it's not going to be that $4,000 package that people normally sign up for, but you're getting them something that's going to be really beneficial and you know that it's going to serve them well. We have to always make sure that that's a part of our process. And it's really particular to where they're currently at, what the pain they're currently in that you want to solve for them. Also, when you're creating these mini offerings, I want you to keep in mind the other opportunities that they have to climb your value ladder. So you're kind of like, oh, all of a sudden you've done this audit and you've served them, you've made the money, and you want it to be an easy sort of step for them to say, could I just hire you to do my copy? Could I just hire you next year to be my coach? That type of thing, right? So if you're a photographer, maybe it's a mini brand shoot for Christmas photos. Maybe you do product photos, and so you're gonna help them get ahead for Q1, and you're gonna push it that way. Whatever the case is, you have something that you can push to people that makes them excited and serves them well, given right where they are. Okay, number 3 is you're gonna think through, what are my current offerings? And you're not going to necessarily change your offerings at all. You're going to change your messaging. And so we want to think about, where are people in the buying process? Where are they at this time of year? And how can we kind of really resonate and land with where they're at and how we can serve them? So whether you're a candle maker and you know that it's the holidays and it's a time we're in quarantine, it's the time for cozy days at home, and so you're gonna really push that type of messaging to say, you need more candles than ever before. And so I'm gonna push this bigger bundle. Normally maybe you would push 1 candle. You're gonna push 3 candles, and you're gonna really be able to do that because of the messaging and the angle where people are like, yeah, she's right, actually. I'm burning way more candles. I want to give them as gifts, whatever the situation is. And so you're going to tweak your messaging for that. Maybe it's you're a coach, and so you're gonna maybe pivot to, don't you want to get that head start? Like, most people are really looking at kind of they're slowing down and they're gonna really pick up in January, but not you, girl. Like, you're ready to take action now. Maybe it's about tax write-offs. Like, you know that you need to start investing. You see where you're sitting at, and you're ready to make that big investment now because you know it's gonna benefit you with your taxes. Okay, you get the idea. I'm giving you some creativity here, but this is where you really want to think, who's my buyer, where are they at, and how can I take my general offerings and really message, and then that lands really well for conversion. Okay, our 4th and final idea around how can we create cash quickly in our business this month is to think about the fact that most of our services have some sort of payment plan. So if you're a high ticket selling person, if you have a product line that maybe you're dripping out through a subscription, things like that, you have the opportunity to have people pay now and receive later. So think about that and think about, how can I lock people in and get a deposit for a service that they will begin in January. And maybe you give some sort of incentive. So you give, maybe you give them an extra 1-hour go big call in December when they deposit, but the program starts in January. Something like that gives them an incentive. We need to have a time incentive for, why are they signing up now And there's all different ways to create that in our business, but that gives us those deposits so that we've got some of that cash coming in now for services that we'll begin doing in the new year. Okay, so I am so excited for you because now you've got really clear ideas and action steps for how you can infuse your business with cash at the end of the year. Sometimes I see people just kind of like sizzling out, fading out at the end of the year. They're like, okay, I've done what I can do. These are where my numbers sit. And this is kind of it. And it's kind of a defeated attitude. And I want to say, nope, we still have time. There are ways to make money. And I want to remind you of your leadership in this. If you need to say, you know what, I have done what I've done. It's great. This is the time for me to be with my family. This is the time for self-care. This is the time for me to do the behind the scenes work. I'm not going to be focusing. That's going to take away from this or that. Lean into your leadership. Okay, so you've got 4 ways to make cash in your business now. We can go back to past clients. We can create a smaller mini offering. We can really get honed in on the messaging that's going to land with people right now. And we can work for deposits for services that will then fulfill in the new year. All right. Are you ready to make more money in less time doing more of what you love? Get to work. I'm excited to hear maybe which one of these you choose to execute. And the best place to reach me is on my Instagram at Erinn, ERINN_Bridgman, or in my private Facebook group. I love seeing the action that's happening in there. I go live once a week where we go more in depth into content like this, where we deliver workshops with me or a team member. It's amazing. So if you haven't joined that, I'd love to see you in there. And that's all for now. Cheers.